So in this video, I want to clarify a couple of things that you have seen in the other Edpuzzles. So I want to make sure you understand what the A, B, and C are. I want to make sure you understand if you aren't the best at multiplying and dividing, how to do that on the calculator. And I want to make sure that you understand the difference between a factor and a zero. And then the fourth thing, I want to show you a calculator strategy. So that is my goal in this Edpuzzle number 4. Hopefully I don't have to split it up into 2 parts. So these notes need to go on page 89 in your journal. So I'm going to go through these things. So again, we're on page 89. The first thing, I want to make sure that you understand what the A, B, and C are. So A is the coefficient of x squared. It's the one that you circle. Whatever is the number of x squares, that's what A is. B is the coefficient of x. That's the one that you squiggly, how many x's there are. And C is the coefficient that doesn't have any x's, no x, no y. So for example, if it looked like this, all right, so first thing I would do is I would circle, squiggly, underline. This has an x squared, so I circle this. This has an x, so I squiggly. This doesn't have any x's, so I underline. So for this problem, my A is the one I circle, that's 2. My B is the one I squiggly, so that's 3. And my C is the one I underline, -7. That's what you have to do. So if, for example, if it was x squared, that'd be the one you circle, your A is 1. If it was negative x squared, your A would be equal to -1. All right, I just want to clarify that. If there's no B, if there's nothing you squiggly, then your B is 0. If there's nothing you underline, then your C is 0. So I would like for you to try this example. Tell me what the A, B, and C are. So circle, there's no squiggly, this is my underline. A is 1, B, there's no squiggly. My C is -25, because that's a negative. All right, I want you to try another example. Try that one. So circle, squiggly, no underline, so my A is 1. My B is -7. There's no underline, so my C is 0. All right, so that's the first thing I want to talk to you about. The second thing I want to talk to you about are what are factors versus zeros. So a factor, for example, if my factor is x plus 2, that's my factor. But my 0, to make this into a 0, you have to set this equal to 0. So what you would do is subtract 2, x equals to -2. So you either make it equal to 0, you either have to solve it. The other way you can remember it is you just change the sign. The sign is -2. So both of them are saying the same thing. This, when you make this equal to 0, then it's a 0. But just as the parentheses without this part is a factor, this is your 0. Okay, because it equals to 0. X plus 2 equal to 0 when your x is equal to 2. If you put an x here, the -2 into x, -2 plus 2, that equals 0. So your factor is x plus 2, but the 0 is this. So for example, if you had a factor of x plus 3, that would be your factor. But what would be the 0? It would be -3, because here it's +3, here it would be -3. So what if you had x, we'll do x minus 9. That's your factor. What would be your 0? A +3. I'm sorry, +9. Why? Because it's negative here and you change the sign to a positive. So let me show you this on the calculator. For example, if you had a question like this, this is in your packet from the last 6 weeks, your project. So if you're given multiple choice, here's a calculator strategy. Here's your calculator strategy, and I kind of went out of order. Here's your calculator strategy. What you want to do is they're going to give you the equation, the problem. You're going to go to graphs. You're going to type in the equation from the problem. And when they want a factor is the line through your heart, through your 0. Wherever your 0 would be in your graph, Wherever it makes a line, like through that heart, that's your factor. So I'm going to show you in the calculator. Make sure you copy the steps. So here's the problem. I'm going to put it in my calculator, and I could do it the long way, but I'm going to show you how you can check your work on the calculator. So go to graphs, and from here I'm going to type in the one from the problem, which is 9x squared, it's not squared plus 13x minus 10. Enter. So there's my graph. I can see the hearts are right there. So when I type in my answer choices, they have to be lines through the hearts. They have to go in through these hearts. So I'm going to press tab. I'm going to type in the first one, 9x minus 5. And that one goes through the heart perfectly, so that would be my answer. I'll show you what the other ones look like so you can see what an answer would not look like. X plus 5. See, that one does not, this green one doesn't go through the hearts. The heart is there and the heart is there. That would not be your answer. I'm going to type in H so you can see the other ones. 3x plus 2. That one does not go through the heart. The heart is there and there. And then the other one, 3x minus 2. That one also goes through the heart. Let me zoom in. I'm going to check. See, it doesn't. Just the first one did. You can see that one doesn't go through the heart. Another way you can double check is press menu 5-1, and your calculator will actually, that's not the one I want. See, it'll tell you where the zero is at. It'll say 0 on your calculator. So it goes through that one. The other one doesn't, so it's letter A. So again, you type them in the calculator, and they need to go through the hearts. One of those hearts. Alright, so the other thing I want to show you that your calculator can do, when you're making a list of factors, your calculator can make a list of factors for you. So, for example, if you had x squared plus 8x plus 12, okay, I circle, squiggly, underline. My A is 1, my B is 8, and my C is 12. So when I do the magic X, then up here I multiply A times C, so that's 12, and I put the B down here. So then I have to figure out two numbers that add to give me 8 and multiply to give me 12. Now where can I have that list of numbers that will be my trial and error? Here's how you do this. You go to the calculator, you go to graphs, and what you're going to type in is whatever this top number is. You're going to put in that top number and you're going to divide it by x. Okay, whatever this top number is, you're going to divide it by x. So, you're going to go to the calculator. You're going to go to graphs. My top number is 12, so I type in 12 divided by x. And what it's going to do is it's going to give you this kind of radical function. You're going to go to, I'm sorry, not radical, rational. Go back. You're going to make a table, Control T, and then there you have the list of numbers you can try. So then you're going to add these numbers. All of these numbers multiply to give you 12 because what it's doing is it's undoing division by giving you the factors. So what you're going to do is 1 times 1 plus 12 is not 8. 2 plus 6, that's 8. So I know my answer has to be 2 and 6. So again, you go to graphs. Whatever your top number is, you put the top number divided by x.